Oh, oh, oh,
Hey,
oh.
Mama.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm almost lost track. We're doing Love is Blind 7 through 10, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the week 5 of The Bachelor, I think it is. But let me tell you, basically as soon as we got done recording last time, I went and watched 7 because I had been I was on the edge of my seat, just holding
Yeah,
back. And so I was like, oh my God, she's seen it. I am
I
watching
know.
7, 8.
I was like, oh, but I watched it so long ago. But I don't, was seven the one where Edmund is kind of whiny at the end or something? Something happened at the end of seven that I was like, okay. There was just so many things. These couples are a trip, I'll tell you.
Um, I'm trying to remember because Edmund whines all the time. So, I don't know. He's probably whined at the end of every episode. 7 was I made some notes about it, actually.
But let's hear your
So
notes.
they were still on their trip and they were getting ready to go home. And so at the end of 6, I think Edmund had been crying in the bed and all that shit. And then in 7, Annie and Nick were she was in the bed and he was trying to pack, and she was like, you don't love me as much as I love you, and you're not gonna, like, I don't know, you aren't ready to say yes, you'll marry me today. And I guess what I have gathered from her is she just doesn't need to drink ever again. Have one glass of wine
Yeah,
and call it a day. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yes, I literally thought the same thing. I'm like, ooh, girl, you've had a little too much today.
And it happened again. I want to say it was in episode 10, but either way, 9 or 10, when they had all the couples get together and she drank, and then
Yeah.
they went back to their apartment and she's like, I just want to know that you love me as much as I love you. And he's been so, I told you, I think he's kind of like AI or whatever. He's not very real, but at the same time, he has been
Which is
honest with her.
funny. Other couples have said the same thing. Like other
I
women have said the
know.
same thing.
I
And
know.
I
Now
have
they,
felt I think everybody could feel that. I
yeah,
don't
now they're
understand the
saying it.
I need more context because I feel like sometimes we just walk into an argument. It's like you walk into the room and you're like, "Oh, what is happening?" And you have no idea.
Yes.
And then you're just watching this ping pong match of back and forth and I'm like, still don't understand why you guys where did this even come from? It's totally out of
Yeah.
left field.
And she, okay, I'm just gonna be I guess a mean girl for a second. I don't know. I have a hard time, like in general, from the beginning, kind of watching her, because I feel and a lot of people do this and that's their choice and it's fine. I'm not, but she was sitting there crying in their apartment, and it was like this when she was crying in the bed too on their trip. And her eyes are blood red to the point I can barely look at her because I'm getting grossed out. And then she has these huge, ginormous fake eyelashes on, like
Yeah.
so thick. And I'm just like, how is that thing not falling off your face right now? I don't know. Mine would be hanging down somewhere, if that, because she kept picking at it, crying, and her eyes were so red, and she's puffy. And I don't know. I'm like, please never drink again. And
Yeah, she's a
she was
trip.
needing constant validation from him. I just want to know what you think of that, because I'll just go on and say it. He ended up breaking it off with her because he was so honest. Like, this is where I am. I need time. I need to go through the process. And she just kept on and on. And was like so fucking needy. And she wasn't honoring his process. And so, like, I want to know what you think of that, because we talk a lot about masculine containment and everything. But, like, this is also, I think he was giving her the truth of an expectation and like what the container looked like for him, and she just wasn't having it.
Yeah, I don't know from the beginning, to be honest, whether Nick was really in it to win it. Like some of the
Mhm.
couples like are in it to win it, and you can just tell like they're in it, they're taking
Oh
it
yeah.
seriously. And there are other couples
Jordan and
who,
Megan.
yeah, Jordan and Megan are taking it serious. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think Allie, that's a whole other
Yes,
conversation we can talk about. I think she takes it serious. I don't
I
think
just
Anton does. Um, I think KB takes it serious. Anyways, that's besides the point. But there are couples who are in it to win it, and I don't think Nick was in it. Like I don't think it mattered who he picked or whatever. Like I don't think he was ever gonna get married. And maybe he did hit his breaking point. I think there's a lot we don't see, and I would be curious like how much validation he actually gives her, because when she was crying in the bed, I forget what he like wasn't going to agree to something or say something or whatever it was. So like I could see why she would feel insecure. Like if you're not on the same page I'm on. But I also have a hard time with that when couples go on the show. You know the whole point is to marry the person at the end. So like if you really have any reservations, doubts in your mind that like maybe just maybe based on how the person looks or acts, that you might not marry them, then you shouldn't go on the show. I mean, obviously it's entertaining for us, but yeah, I don't
well,
know.
but I
I
think
feel like there's probably something missing on her part for her to act out that way.
yeah.
Or maybe she's just that insecure. I don't know. I've been in situations where and maybe it wasn't a good place for me and I wasn't mature enough to handle it. But like I also think about the person and their actions, and I could see why I felt insecure. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
So
I
I don't
do, because I think like when a man is 100% all in on you, it really is settling, especially like if you want to be with him, it's really settling in your nervous system. But what's funny is, as I was saying that, like literally as the words were coming out of my mouth, I was remembering there have been times that men have been 100% in on me. And it was very like unsettling to my nervous system. And that was a me thing that I needed to like resolve in myself. In a couple of instances that I'm thinking, it was a me thing. And then in another instance, I'm thinking of, it was like the person who was all in on me was all in a way like it didn't feel trustworthy, because that's just like, you know, like that person. I think I've mentioned it to you before on here, maybe. Like he had already been married a couple times. Like he had done really like spontaneous, erratic things in relationships, and then later, like realized what he did and wanted to pull out. And so it just didn't feel steady. But I think like with a really grounded man who is safe and secure, that does feel good, and that is containing for a woman, and you do need that. And so on one hand, I understand her being insecure because he's not all in and she is, and you don't want to feel that far ahead. And I think if anyone's going to feel that far ahead, it should be the man. Frankly,
yeah.
like people probably think, oh my god, she is like such a little bitch, but I just think if anyone's going to be all in, it needs to be the man, because he's the like he's got to really like hold that firm foundation for the relationship, and then like a woman can open to that. um
Yeah.
but I also think like, while that's true, I also think they're on this show where you're right, like they are picking someone to marry. And also, I think like that's the whole point that they have this month together, though, is to make sure there aren't things that they see in real life that they didn't see behind the wall that are huge issues or red flags. And I think to be just realistic about that, that would make me feel better actually than a man just being like, "Nope, I'm marrying you no matter what." Like, I would rather know he's got his eyes fucking open.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. And I think sometimes we can let our nerves or whatever, our excitement, like, get the best of ourselves. So
Yeah.
when you were talking about your other relationship and they'd been married a couple times and yada yada, like, I think some people can just be like, I don't know, too naive. They can just jump all in and not really like see the big picture. And I don't know if
Yeah.
she's that way, but I also could see why. Like, I feel like he's not giving her everything. I think that he's like holding back. And so then I
Yeah.
could see why she would be insecure because, like, you don't want to get to the altar, which I would be like so
Yeah.
thankful. Like, thank you for doing it now because I don't want to walk down the aisle and then you say no. Like, that sounds
I
horrible.
know. When they stand at the altar and get told no, that's the worst. But I
Yeah.
also think because it's like, just be a man and tell me before, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I wonder that some of them have to do it. Like, I'm sure it's somewhere written because, like, if everybody backed out, that wouldn't be exciting. You want some
oh
of them to
yeah,
go to the
yeah,
altar sitting there, like, holding your breath. So I don't know how that works, like, for them.
yeah.
But I was kind of surprised at, like, the way it happened. And I didn't quite understand it because I was like, okay. But
Oh,
there
you
was a lot of
didn't?
stuff. No, like when he was like breaking up with her, I don't
I
know. There's a lot
understood it.
of stuff I don't understand. And maybe I'm just not
Well, I
very perceptive.
understood him breaking up with her over that because he's like, you know, first of all, she also kept putting words in his mouth that weren't true. Like she kept saying he said things that he did not say, or at least that we didn't see that he said. And when he was being really clear with her about the expectations, and like I think expectation setting is so important, he was being really clear with her about that. It was like she would take it and twist it into something different. And I think that he just probably, how it sounded when he broke up with her was he was just like done with that dynamic. And he said, "You've done this like one too many times. We're on a short time frame. I'm not marrying someone who's going to do this, like, and not actually see me as a man." Which,
I think maybe I need to rewind because everything you're saying, I'm like, did I see that? Did I watch that
oh,
clearly? I did rewind for one fight. I rewound for the Madison and Joe fight because I was just like, what? How did we get in a fight here? So maybe I
oh
need to
my
rewind.
God.
I need to rewind again.
And she was, yeah,
Everything
so she
you're saying, I'm like,
was,
oh yeah, that makes total sense. I can see why he would say that. But then I'm
yeah,
thinking back, did I even see any of that? I don't know.
yeah, that
Maybe
was when they were
I
on the
paused.
couch.
I'm probably too invested in each situation. And then, like, so the situation that happened before that was something totally different. And then they pop that in. And then I'm
Yes,
like,
they do
still
bounce.
thinking about the other situation. I
Well,
don't know.
like you were saying about Madison and Joe, like Madison just goes 0 to 100 so fucking fast.
Girl, they are both so immature, in my opinion. I
Hmm.
think
Yeah.
she thinks she's mature. I think she thinks she's got it going on, and she's just, but
Mm.
it's a hot mess. Like the one where they were fighting in the apartment,
Yeah,
and
and she
she
put the
just
ring
got
down.
real, yeah. And I was like, wait, what the heck just happened? So I rewound it, and I'm like, okay, this got like ridiculous really fast. Which I've been
All
in those
these,
situations. I mean, who hasn't situation
yeah,
like that, like where one person says something and you don't interpret it right and then it just like blows up to be this huge thing that it didn't
yeah.
even need to be. But I
But
just
he
like
kept
mind blown by
trying
that
to
whole,
He kept trying to rephrase it though, like so she could understand what he meant. Or yeah, because did you think
Yeah.
I didn't think he said anything crazy.
No, I don't think he said anything crazy either, but I could see how, I don't know, being under pressure or just like the wrong time. Like I mean, because I've been in those situations where just somebody says just like the wrong thing that I think's wrong, or the tone is different than what I'm expecting. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second, what? Like I've been there. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he's anything that was like out of
I'm trying
control
to
or
even
off
remember
the
what he
wall.
said. I think he just said something
Like, doesn't
about
she get nervous or something like that? Like, aren't you
doesn't
nervous?
she? Oh, nervous. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, which I think would be normal. Like, I think it would be normal to be nervous to marry someone you've known for like a month.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's also done that when, like, they had the whole argument in the beginning when he was like being weird, which I could kind of understand that, but she just like flipped out and like got really dramatic. And then the
Yeah.
very next day, she's all like, "Oh, I love you. I missed you. I missed
I know.
our sex," or whatever she said. I was like, "What? He's been gone for like 10 minutes. It's not like it's been a week. Like, what do you mean? I don't understand." And then she kind of did the same thing where I almost wonder though, this is my picture of Joe, and I could be so wrong, but I think he goes and sits down with a producer, and a producer talks to him and tries to like help him work through it. Because both times that he's like gotten into a fight with her, he comes back with like all of these like reflective thoughts. And I'm like,
Oh,
that sounds like somebody else has been talking to you and like
well,
helped
okay.
you make sense of what, and now you're like apologizing using their ideas
Yeah.
and words. I don't know.
Well, I have now that you mention that, there's a couple of thoughts I have. So one is, I mean, maybe he is talking to a producer and that might be helpful to him. He might be the kind of person that needs to like take space, talk it out, that gets his thoughts straight, and then he can come back and reassess because some people need that.
Yeah.
Also, it's reminding me about when they went to his apartment and he was showing her his books and he had all those self-help books and he said that's what he reads. And they were all like, there were some good books in there. Like I've read some of those
Yeah.
books and I can't remember the
Yeah.
names of them, the ones he read. Um,
I did find it interesting.
but I think if he's kind of like, well, I was gonna say if he's early in that journey, but even if he's not, like sometimes even if you've done the work a long time, but you're in a new situation that puts different kind of stress on you, you can like revert back to a previous version of yourself. And then you have to like come to present and give yourself time to like, just recalibrate to what's new now. Um, so
Hmm.
maybe just taking that space, he can reflect on what he knows and the tools he has, but he's just in real time can't access them. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, and it would be challenging to access when you have a psychopath like flipping out on you. I should call her
Yeah.
that. That's, but like she does, like she
She
kind
does
of
get
freaks
crazy
out.
eyes.
She flies off the
Yeah.
handle for
Yeah, she
sure.
gets crazy eyes and goes batshit like 0 to 100. Um, but what I do want to talk about, like I thought it was, you know, we talked about the guys getting drunk at that one thing, and now here we are talking about alcohol again with Allie and Anton. And
Yeah. They've been super quiet though. They've really held a lot of stuff in. Like I wonder if they've made like a pact or something. Because when he was kind of talking to her, like, well, what have you been saying? And he's like, oh, like he didn't really like her saying stuff to people.
she said, I've
And
been telling the truth.
yeah, they've been really quiet. Even if she's been telling the truth, she's been real quiet about it. Like she hasn't, I mean,
Yeah.
I think she's real quiet about it.
She has, but I also feel like that's part of her personality. I just find her a little more timid and
Mhm.
quiet.
But she
But
seems to observe a lot. Like she seems to be constantly like
yeah,
taking it and thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, what happened for anyone that didn't see it is basically she had made a comment that they work nights and he would come home in the morning from work. They both work nights and he would have a couple beers. And it was like every day he'd come home, have a couple beers. And she didn't love that. And, to be honest, I wouldn't love that either. Like, I just feel that can be unsettling. I'm not saying some people that would not bother them at all. But then, so she kind of was already clocking it, right? And then she went to that lunch with his friends, and the girl who's dating, like his best friend, was saying how wild they had been and how they loved going to strip clubs and they drank all the time and drank all this tequila. And then she was like recently, like how long ago are you talking? So then that kind of was something else, like, okay, added to what's on the radar. And then they had come back from that mixer and she like goes to get a drink out of the fridge and like all the mixed drinks are gone from the fridge, all the beer's gone from the fridge, and all the tequila's gone from the fridge. And she's like, wait a minute, like where are the drinks? There was a 12 pack, I only had two. There was a 12 pack of beer, that's gone. This whole thing of tequila's gone. Like, so that's just like the recap. And so she asked him about it. And then he was asking her, well, what's an appropriate amount that you think? Like, tell me what. And she was like, I'm not your mom. I'm not telling you what to do. And I loved that answer. Cause like
Yeah.
for her for staying really rooted in the femme part of the feminine and not going maternal with him, because then that's gross. And who wants to have sex with that? So anyway, um, I want to know your thoughts about it because I'm like I'm with her. I get it.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it does seem excessive. I think it's excessive. I don't drink at all anymore. And my husband, like more recently, he barely ever drinks. There for a while, he would like maybe one or two times a week, maybe have a couple of drinks
Yeah.
or a drink. But yeah, I just don't see, I don't know how people function with all of that in their bodies. Like,
Me
it's
either.
just I don't know. A couple of times I've done it, I was overloaded. And then the next day I just felt awful. And I was like, okay, this is not fun. Like, I could care less to feel like this again. But if it's something people do every day, it's normal. So then they just don't think about it and they just feel like crap all the time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would
and
not be comfortable with it. It would not be somebody I would want to marry. Because to me, it's like, I don't know. Maybe I have the wrong associations, but like if you are ready to settle down, it's just not, you just don't drink like a lot, in my opinion. Like if you're
yeah,
still in a party phase, maybe you're going to drink more, but I just don't feel like if you're ready to settle down and be married, that drinking is like, I don't want to say a priority. It's probably just a habit for him. I have a feeling it's just a habit. Or maybe he's an alcoholic and he's hiding it. I don't know. Because he did kind of lie about the whole Patrick thing. And he's like, well, yeah, he came over and he came up. Well, no, he didn't come up. And it was like, wait, what? Like, that makes no
yeah.
sense.
I agree. I feel like there were lies in there because he at first said he came up and they had a couple of drinks, and then he was like, she was like, he was in our apartment, and then why didn't you tell me this and stuff? And then he's like, oh no, I took drinks down, and I'm like, I don't like that. When stories change, I don't like that. I'm like, you
Yeah.
better be being clear about what you're saying to me, and you better be telling me the truth because then I start questioning everything you say. I never know if
Yeah.
your timelines are right or if, like, I just never know if you're telling me the truth. I don't like that.
Yeah. I
Um,
completely agree. I like it either.
so I don't know also, like, I do think it could be a habit, but here's what I think is scary about that. Cause like I would say I don't drink a lot. I definitely drink. I mean, I love like a really nice glass of wine. If I go out to a nice dinner, I love to have a glass of wine with that. Or every now and then, like I want to have some tequila. But it's not like I don't. get hammered. I just don't like it. And anytime that I have been drunk, it has been like, I mean, I don't mean like ever in my whole life, but let's say in the last several years, it's been like a total random, like accident, like I don't know, like sometimes if I have a couple of drinks and it's not even like I'm drunk, but like it just will hit you differently sometimes than other times. I don't know. But since I've been in this apartment and like my body is processing so much just living in this environment right now, with unhealthy air and stuff, I cannot hardly even have one drink. Like I feel horrible. So I do it really sparingly. Like, you know, okay, I'm at this really nice restaurant that have this amazing wine. I might have one glass of it and take some charcoal and like, but then I'm like doing all these things to help myself detox. So anyway, I get what you're saying about the drinking thing, but I think like it's not that I don't drink at all, but I still would feel I don't want to be with someone who drinks a ton. And I think the scary thing about if it's just a habit, if it's just like your routine and a habit, it very easily can become more of a problem. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Without you even like realizing, because you're so unconscious to it, you're not choosing, like, I really want a beer right now, and that fills in my pleasure, or I really want a glass of wine and that fills in my pleasure. And I mean, like, lasting pleasure. I'm still going to feel good tomorrow, whatever. Or if I don't, it's totally worth that one time momentary, like, don't feel good for a few hours because I'm celebrating this special thing. And I want to do that. I want to show up that way. Like when it just becomes an
Yeah.
unconscious pattern, it's like, I feel like then you can really get into, I hate the word alcoholism because I don't look at alcoholism the way a lot of people do, but I think it can become like where you do start getting more dependent on it in physiologically.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're drinking 2 beers every day, you're probably dependent on it, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah. And then also, it's not just that he's having those 2 beers every day, clearly, because all the tequila, like she said, I think she said there was like, I don't know, 3/4 of a bottle left or something. That's a lot of
Yeah.
tequila.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, I understand her. I just hope she doesn't ignore
Oh, I don't
that.
think so. She say no.
You think she'll
Yeah.
say
Oh, for sure. Yeah. She's not sticking around.
no? Okay.
And I wonder how well he like hides and covers stuff up because his mom talks about how great he is and all this stuff. And I'm like, I wonder
Right.
how he hides from people. Like,
Well, that's
which I
what
mean, if you're
made
not living with
me
somebody every day, you probably don't know their habits. But like, I don't know. I feel like he's hiding stuff from his mom. Because like if my son, and this is just my opinion, enjoys going to strip clubs and is partying at whatever, I mean even at a younger age, like I don't love that. Like if that's what you're doing for like fun and entertainment, like I just don't love that. Like that's not something that I'm going to be like, oh, you're a great guy. Like no, no. Like I don't. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure his mom doesn't know any of that information, or maybe
no,
she
I think
totally is fine with
going
it. I don't know.
right. I think going all the time is like, ugh, gross. I mean, I understand every now, like, not, I'm not saying like older and when you're married and have family, but like when you're younger, I mean, I've been to a strip club, I've been to a few times to a strip club, but it's not like, I'm just saying, I hear what you're saying. I get it. I also think if you're going all the
Yeah,
time,
it's
it's
just my.
sleep.
I I would not like if I was dating a guy and that's what they said like they like to do in their past, I still would be like, oh, a little bit of a red flag here. Like,
Right.
we'll see how it goes, but that's a little bit of a red flag to me.
Right. And then I also think, and I do think that the fact that his mom thinks, first of all, I don't know if it's cultural, like maybe she does think it's normal to drink that much because sometimes, like, culturally, different cultures that is like just part of it. I don't know if it's that or if he's hiding it, but if he's been hiding who he is from a lot of people, I do feel like that's a red flag. I don't like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I mean, I
Um,
expect a boy to tell his mom, like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've been going to these strip clubs."
oh no, no, no. I don't either. But I mean like the drinking and I don't know, like if you're painting yourself in one light and then actually you're this other. Um, so let's talk about KB and Edmund just for a second before we go to the Bachelor.
Well, we should talk. Let's talk about Megan and Jordan first. Clearly, they're our shining star couple.
Oh
We
my
like them.
God,
They
yes.
make it. I hope they make it. I'm a little nervous, but I hope they make it.
What makes you nervous?
Because sometimes I think that like we don't get the full picture, and then they take them down to the altar, and it's like nope, and then you're like, what do you mean no?
Okay,
So that's
yeah.
why I say I'm nervous because I just don't like. I get the vibes that they're good, going strong, like all of that. I hope her meeting Mike really confirmed that she did the right thing.
I know.
Um,
She handled that brilliantly.
yeah, yeah, she did a good job. There was a pause though, when he's like, "Do you regret it?" Or wait, what did he say? What did he say?
He said, "Are you?" I think he said, "Are you definitely getting married or something, or
Yeah,
are
but
you
I think
happy with your decision?" Or
he asked her something about did she regret her. I don't know. I felt like he asked her if she regretted it. Anyway, so there was a pause, but I'm like, I wonder if that was like not like an editing thing and not that would be hard to watch back too because like the editing can manipulate things sometimes to be
Mhm.
what it's not. So I don't know. But I really like them. I think they're very cute together. Like I think she's taking this whole him having a kid thing very seriously and like
Yeah,
she's taking the whole thing seriously, I think. I think he is too.
yeah, and I think the whole, I don't know, like their dynamic. I think they're just more like realistic, and they're both kind of really grounded people, which is helpful in a scenario like Love is Blind. Um, I will say I did see like on the teaser for the next one or one that's coming up where she was like, we talked all the time and now like it's like we're ships passing in the night because I think he works a different schedule than her.
Yeah,
And I
I
do
don't
think
love
that
that.
would be, yeah, I do think that would be hard. Like, how do you, like, if you never see someone, you would have to work real hard at like making that time for each other and figuring out a schedule. And then, he's got a child on top of it. So, um, and they don't have this big long history of this established relationship to fall back on. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and I also found it real interesting that he was like, I need, when they looked at that house, and he's like, well, I don't think she looks at me like I am a mooch or anything, but like, I want to look at my finances and make sure I can still contribute. And because she evidently does, makes a lot more than him and has a lot more money than him. And I think he's handling it great though, because he's like, I still want to be like
Yeah.
the man, and I'm like, God, I think he's handling that so well. He's like, I don't
Yeah,
want
I
her to
agree.
lower
It would
her
be a big,
standards.
yeah. It'd be a big daunting task because she does seem to be very like successful financially, career wise, all of that. So like that doesn't make him any less of a person because he doesn't make as much money as she does. But that would be really hard to like navigate.
Right. But I mean, it seems like he's very secure and confident in himself, what he brings, and that he is like, has that masculine essence. And so I don't know. I just loved that he wasn't just like, okay, well, then she can just handle it. He also wasn't like, I expect her to live how I live because she obviously like is used to living a certain standard. But he's like, let's figure
Mm-hmm.
this out rather than feeling inadequate or whatever.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I do
Um,
too. I think they're okay. KB and Edmund, what did you want to say about
ugh,
them?
okay. So first of all, we know I'm not a fan of Edmund. So what I'm getting ready to say isn't because I'm like, he's great, she's awful. We know I'm not a fan of him. But I do feel when they were at the mixer and he said kind of jokingly like, oh, that's gotta be, I don't even think it was about him and her relationship when like one of the guys, I can't remember who it was, one of the girls, maybe it was Annie, said to Nick like, you're just perfect or something, and he was like, oh, I bet that's just so great to hear, and KB like went the fuck off on him, and
Yeah.
I just felt like, I know when they talked about it later and she gave all of this backstory, I can understand why that annoyed her that he said that. 100% I can understand why it annoyed her. But given what had happened earlier that day. But I also think like it wasn't as huge as she made it out to be. And then when they did talk about it the next day or whenever that was, and she was giving him down the road. I mean, and she was like, and you do not say one word until I finish this whole thing. And like, I don't know. She was just going off and he was just sitting there like a little boy. And I just thought, ew, the
And
dynamic is
if
gross.
she had, yeah, if she had more of a masculine, like stronger partner, I would be really curious what she would be like. Like
Yeah.
I think she has good points. I think she has a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
But I also think this is a challenge for all women because I do the same thing. Just address the issue when it's the issue. Like, okay, if you're upset with him because he's not helping out and whatever, just say, like, hey, like, I really need you to help out or whatever. Or, like,
Hmm.
I'm mad that you did not help out with me earlier because then, you know, you end up with these huge feelings and
Yeah.
situations and whatever. And I don't think Edmund was like trying to make a dig at her.
No.
But then she's like, you're going to say that here. You're going to say that. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a train wreck. But I think like address it when it's a problem. Like, I don't like it when I'm arguing or talking to somebody and then they bring up something I did like previously or whatever. Like, you need to tell me in the moment. And I'm guilty of it too. Like, just tell the person in the moment. Like, why
Yeah.
wait? Why not just address it or bring it up then? Because you're just making it worse by not saying whatever it is that you need.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's like a definite, things need to be dealt with when they're happening, you know.
Yeah.
And if you need a day or something to process, you can say, look, I'm really not happy with how this is happening or what's going on. I need to process some of it. And then can we talk about it in the morning or whatever? But like, acknowledge that something's going on don't just let all these things build and then you're taking offense to something that's totally unrelated. I don't know. I didn't like that. But what I really didn't like was the way she was like talking at him. I mean, she wasn't yelling, but kind of like she was just being so bitchy. And then I just thought, oh my God. And, you know, you're talking to him like he's a little boy, but like I wouldn't have even talked to my little boy that way, like my child when he was that little. Like I didn't talk like that at him and lecture
Yeah.
him and stuff. Just like so gross and unattractive. And then I'm thinking, it really like emasculates, and he already wasn't very masculine. And then it's like emasculating him more. And then there's no way she's
Yeah.
doing that thinking he is so sexy. And then he's just sitting there taking it. Like, no, stand the fuck up and be
Yeah.
like, you're not talking to me this way. This is not working for me. If you want to have a
Yeah.
conversation with me, right, then let's have a conversation. But she said, the thing I picked up on is she said, I see your
Thank you.
potential.
Thank you.
She said, I see your potential, and potential has broken my heart before. And I'm just like, yeah. And you're
Potential
like,
isn't a
yeah, like you can't marry potential. Like you
yeah.
have to see if the person right now is able to show up the way you want them to, because you have no control over, like, if you see potential in them and I've been in this situation before, and like I've wanted what I see in the person, I've seen it for them, I've believed in it for them, I know what they could be, but I believe it and want it more than they do. That sucks. That breaks your heart. That is like
Mhm.
when you want it more than they want it, it's miserable. You cannot be in that kind of relationship. I've been there, I've been in it. And it's just like you can't keep doing that. And so I don't know. When she said that, I was like, honey, that's the only red flag you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I know your potential. Like, yes, we can say that about every past boyfriend I've ever had. I know your potential, but like let me tell you, they are probably not somebody I would like be married to now because they still
Right.
have not met the potential.
Right. And if you want it more than them, then you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you can help people, reach their goals and their dreams, but like it's their goal, it's their dream. Like you can
Yeah.
help, you can't push or force somebody into it.
No. So I completely agree with you on that. Okay, anything else, or do you want to move to The Bachelor?
I think that's all I had. I mean, obviously, like at the very end, Joe walked out, which I know he's not gonna say yes or be there at the altar anyway. So like
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, he
And
did walk
of
out.
course, she'll like have a huge pity party. I don't know. I think people have a hard time like doing reflecting, like they don't reflect on themselves, which I honestly wish I was that way. I wish I was so confident in who I was, that I was so great and wonderful and perfect that I never had to look back at myself and discover that I was wrong. But I am not that way.
I'm so great, wonderful, and perfect. I am cracking up because you know what? No matter how great, wonderful, and perfect anyone is, we can always be better. We can always show up better, I
No,
feel like.
that's
And
true.
it's there is this like, I do think we can get stuck in this loop of like always trying to be better and like always like just working, working, working to like resolve things instead of just like living and knowing that it's good enough how we're showing up or whatever in the moment. And I personally have to watch that because I can be perfectionistic with myself, especially, and with others. But I think that's actually my human design. One of my big key, like gene keys, is holding people to their highest potential and highest standards. But I think that, yeah, the being able to like look at yourself and say, like, I am not the bee's knees here is important. Sometimes you just have to know you're not the bee's knees.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that statement, but oh, wouldn't it be nice to just be like, not me. I know I'm great. I don't know. That's just kind of
I'm
the impression
always
I get from her because it's not like
from
when they come back together from Madison. It's not like when they come back together. He like says all these wonderful things, but she doesn't say, well, I did see how I could contribute to that. I took your tone the wrong way or whatever. It's always just like
oh
him kind
yeah.
of coming back and like this very big spiel.
Yeah, there's like no
Anyways, yes,
accountability.
yes. That's all I really had to say about the end because that was kind of like a big pivotal moment where they're like, "Oh, Joe walked out. Like Joe just left,"
Oh
and we're
yeah.
all like, "What?" Which it
Yeah,
would
you're
be
right.
overwhelming. Um, yeah. So the Golden Bachelor, my new prediction is he's not going to be with anybody. That's my
Oh,
prediction. I don't think. I
really?
think he might pick somebody, but I don't think that they're still together. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but I'm just kind of like with
Okay.
anyways, it was a great episode. I love the women. I like him so far. He seems to be great. I love their stories. I liked Cindy. Did they have a group date? Why am I not remembering this?
Yeah, the group date was when they went on that like spa retreat thing with the shaman.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I kind of like that he broke it off with each person and had like
I loved that they did
the
that. I
one
think that was so important because I feel like it's a compressed season and he needed that one-on-one time still. And I'm glad that
yeah.
he did that and got one-on-one with each of them. Um, the woman that left, I cracked
The
up
long red,
because the woman with the
right?
long
Not
blonde
Nicole.
hair, no, like the
Wait,
long blonde
Nicole?
hair. No, the woman that was on the spa retreat that said, I want to leave and went and got in the car.
How did I miss this? I'm telling you what, I think there was a glitch. Because I do remember that now that you're saying that, but I don't think I actually watched that part and I don't understand why. I don't know if I got distracted and didn't pause the show or
Yeah.
what. So
So,
Carol left. She said he wasn't right. Okay.
yes. So, but what was so funny with to me was the shaman, like they actually, their date was a really cool little date on that retreat because the shaman was leading them on a guided journey. Okay. And it was a shamanic
Mhm.
journey. And she was drumming and she was like taking them on this journey. And then Carol goes, when she's talking, she's like, well, when we were doing that little exercise, I just couldn't even like think about it because all I was thinking about was how I had to talk to him. And I'm like, it just made me laugh because I do like shamanic work and all of that. And so I'm like, honey, it's not like a little exercise. It wasn't like, you know, she was taking you through a Myers Briggs test or something. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Right.
guiding you into your soul to get this juicy information. And you're like, I couldn't focus on that exercise because I was it just made me laugh. Um
Yeah.
I understood why she left because she was like, I just needed more one-on-one time to have him come and like see. But she was stuck on not getting that one-on-one date. But then what if she had just been really present and realized, well, she actually is kind of getting a one-on-one date, even in the group date.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. I think
have gotten
sometimes
stuck.
people get hung up on that one-on-one time, and like if they don't get it, then maybe they don't think they're as important, so they're probably not going to
Right,
stick around anyways.
right.
So then they
So,
self-eliminate.
right. But then when you say you don't think he's going to end up with anyone, what made me kind of go, oh, is because when Nicole left, so he didn't choose, Nicole did not get a rose at the end. and neither did Cheryl. And when Nicole left, she kind of grossed me out. Like, I just don't like
Yeah,
her
she was
very
the
much.
right reasons.
But she was like, literally said to him, when it doesn't, she literally said to him, when it doesn't work out with whoever you choose, because it's not going to, give me a call. And I mean that.
Yeah, but then she wants to be the next Bachelorette. So there you go.
And I know then she said, maybe they'll have me. I know the universe just works things out. There's something better for me. So maybe I'll be the next Golden Bachelorette. And I'm like, you were
No.
delusional. You
Yeah,
were,
she's mentioning cameras and doing the right things in front of the cameras one too many times.
I know. She's like, I want to be known for my recipes on Instagram and I want to like kiss me for the camera. And like, this isn't a freaking, like, she acted like she was like auditioning for a role.
Yes. Uh-huh. I completely
I
agree. Yeah,
don't know.
she even made another camera remark to him. Kiss me one more time. Maybe it was that kiss me one more time for the camera or
Yeah.
something. And he's like, oh, maybe that's what that girl was talking about. Maybe this is a
Yeah.
red flag.
Yeah. He said like the card was wisdom, or was it wisdom? Or no, it was something about being observant
Uh-huh.
eh, that they pulled in there with the shaman. And he's like, so I'm observing, like I'm watching, I'm paying attention, and I'm seeing what I see. Um, yeah, I just thought that was wild. I actually could see him with the redheaded lady. Is her name
Cindy.
Carol? No, Cindy. Yeah, Carol's who left. I could see him with Cindy. I could even maybe see him with Peg, to be
I could
honest.
see him with a lot of them. Yeah. Yeah. I could see him with any of them. I don't know. I just have a feeling. And I could be
Yeah.
totally wrong. I could be totally wrong.
And I loved, okay, I'm just going to say this because sometimes, Peg is like kind of tomboyish at times.
Mhm.
But at the rose ceremony, okay, first of all, she had on that gorgeous floral dress. Like, I loved that dress. It was stunning. And then her hair was like Farrah Fawcett hair. Like, she had it blown. It was beautiful. Oh, you froze. Oh, okay. Well, Emily froze. Let's see if she rejoins. If not, I guess we're going to end on that note with the beautiful Farrah Fawcett hair that Peg had. Um, yeah, it's been real. It's been great. All right, guys. Well, Emily froze. Then she dropped off the call. I have no idea what happened. Her phone probably died. It does that sometimes. Anyway, this conversation has been fun. It's been juicy, and I have absolutely loved the chat. It's too bad Emily's not here to say goodbye, but we hope that you will join us again next time. Bye. You're back.
Okay, hold on. So dumb. It's so dumb. Oh
I'm
no.
like, oh my God, I'm talking about beautiful Farrah Fawcett hair and this gorgeous dress, and then you're gone. Did
Yeah,
your
it's
phone die?
really weird. No, you froze. You froze too. And I sent you, yeah, you text me and then I text you. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Like on my side, it like you froze a little bit earlier and then it came back on and I'm like, okay, we're rolling with it. And then it froze again. I was like, oh crap.
Oh my gosh, so funny. I
So
mean, we were
restart.
almost done anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah,
quickly.
did you just love her hair? Like I thought it was
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett gorgeous.
Yeah, I really like her. And I did like how everybody got to talk to like a friend or their daughters. I
Oh
really enjoyed
yeah.
that little part of it.
Yeah, they got to FaceTime.
I'm excited to meet everybody's families and see where they
Mm-hmm.
come from. I'm really excited. This season has been really fun. I know that people were like worried about Mel in the beginning because he said some not so favorable things, but I think he's handling it well and I think he's doing a good job like navigating it and it has been fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I think that, he's seeing that women that are probably more age appropriate for him can also be fun and fit and in shape and
Yeah.
just the life of the party too.
Yeah. Yeah, they are a really good group of girls. I'm excited. I hope they do like a women tell all or something.
Oh,
I like to
yeah.
hear all of them talk again.
Yeah. They're always like, I think it's fun. I hate the women tell all for the normal Bachelor. Like, I literally hate it. And the men tell all. I'm like, oh my God, all they're doing is like yelling at each other and being just, ugh.
Mhm.
But I think for the Goldens, it's like to hear them talk is like different, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And they've all been so fun and they're all so gracious when they leave. They're like, "Oh, I'm sad, but good for him. He'll find somebody." I'm like, "You guys are so nice."
Yeah. Except for Nicole.
That girl, whatever. Yeah, it's probably a good thing he didn't have a 40-year-old because she kind of acts like a 40-year-old. She just acts really like immature.
I don't know. I don't, even, we don't even act that way, you and I.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She acts like she's in her
So,
20s. So I don't know. She
yes.
is
Yeah.
fair.
She has some really, like, I think just some things she needs to address in herself, you know?
Yeah, because didn't they say she'd been married a couple times? So I wonder,
Yeah.
like, we're just repeating patterns
Yeah.
instead of growing. But, anyways,
Right.
I'm excited to watch the next one. This is Hometowns. Yay.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
excited for it.
we'll be able to, like, wrap up Love is Blind because Love is Blind's, like, just a
Yeah,
couple
it's
more
almost,
episodes left.
I know, and I'm excited for the reunion too because I love hearing them like spill all the tea.
I know, the reunion's my fave. Yeah, because I actually thought this is something we didn't even talk about. I actually thought that they would address like the Patrick thing a little bit more. Like
Oh, yeah.
they really didn't. That was like such a letdown. I was hoping for more. And then I did have something for that. So when Anna was like, "Well, you proposed to somebody else." So like obviously it wasn't me, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't really agree with that because I think when you sign up for the show, your goal is to get married. And like
Right.
she dropped out. So
Right.
to me, if I was still in the situation, I'd be like, well, obviously, like we might not have been meant to be, but like if she was still here, I would have married, like I would have proposed to her. You know what I mean? Like I would have wanted to
Yeah,
see
like
her.
right. If you're following the flow of the universe, then she chose to leave, then you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stay in it and then I'll take the next what feels like
Yeah,
the next right steps. But then that's obviously not working out. So the way I think of that, like I just believe, and I said this actually like to the person I'm seeing now when I dated him years ago. Um, I said to him then, we were talking about something, and I was like, well, I just believe that something like, I just believe that nothing will keep my husband from me. So, like, if you're meant to be my husband, you'll be my husband. Like,
yeah,
and I really believe that. So,
yeah,
I don't think that I think maybe like another perspective on it is, okay, well, look, here they have this opportunity to come back together. And I don't like it. It's like almost like she was testing him or something. Like, oh, well, if I leave, does he like me enough that he'll not marry anyone else and he'll still be single? And it has to like look this way, or not
Yeah.
marry, but get engaged to anyone else. And I just think like that's not fair to do that to him.
No, I don't think that was fair at all, and I don't think how she no, I just don't agree with her thought process because I think Patrick was,
Me
like,
either.
very serious and wanted to get married, and so
And he
you
was
left.
all about her.
Yeah, you left, like, and he was really hesitant about Casey, so I wonder if when they watch this back, if, like, Anna would change her mind a little bit about that, but, like, you're the one who took your hat out. Like he didn't do I don't think he did anything wrong. Like I just the whole way she was like kind of presenting it was like, "Oh, well, you still went ahead and, got engaged to somebody, so clearly I wasn't the one." Like I don't think that's the case in this
No,
instance at all. Like I think Patrick
no.
was really serious about finding somebody and he was like open to trying the process and all of that like
Yeah.
he crafted.
I Yeah, I agree. And I think the fact that like who he asked to marry him, the fact that that didn't come to fruition and work out, that opened him back up to the person or a person he could really love and marry. And so, you know, she is really closing herself off to the possibilities of the universe
Mhm.
by having a really narrow-minded view about it. Like the universe can like it's there's a cosmic chess game going on all the time, I feel like that's kind of like
Mhm.
the analogy I use. And in this cosmic chess game, the universe is just moving pieces around all the time. And I've even felt sometimes like the board's been cleared and everything's been set up again. It's like round two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
like that's just be open to whatever moves the universe is making. And you never know what might happen for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I guess we'll find out what happens.
Yes. All right. Well, I look forward to it. I'm excited about seeing like what's to come, seeing who gets married, seeing who gets engaged on The Bachelor, if anyone
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
and talking about it all next week. How many more episodes of The Bachelor are there?
There might be 2, maybe? I don't know.
I
I'm
was
not
thinking.
I would say there's 2 at least.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll get through Love is Blind and at least be able to talk about all the weddings
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun.
and the juicy details of the reunion.
Yeah. That'll be really fun. All right. Well, I will talk to you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.